everyone, Karen here, and today I have a card for you. It's going to be a children's birthday card, and I'm going to be using the Little Adventure and the Sass and Sparkle sets from Crafter's Companion. This was a great set they came out with a couple weeks ago, and it has all kinds of things for kids' cards. It's got trucks and spaceships and ballerinas and little aliens that are boys and girls, and it's really a great set for kids' cards. So I have all my pieces here. I have all my little alien pieces here with the bows and the horns and everything. Over here I have the spaceship cut out. I have some balloons. I have all the little stars cut out. And I also have some wobblers. Because I'm thinking at least one of those pieces is going to end up on a wobbler. I have some pieces cut out for the sentiment and for the messaging. I have this here, which is 7/8 by 2 5/8. And it's going to go on a piece of mirror card that is 1 by 2 3/4. So that's going to be one piece. The other one, I have a 1 1 1/8 by 2. And so that makes this 1 1/4 by 2 1/8. And that also is mirror card. And I'm going to be stamping on that too. I have some googly eyes because, you know, that's what you should have. And then in this tray here, I have all the pieces for the aliens. Now the card itself, let me put this over here, is going to be a Z-fold card. So basically, when I make a Z-fold card, I will take my whole sheet of paper, and this is from Hunky Dory, so it is English measurements, and I cut it to 10 by 7, and I scored it at 2.5 and at 5, and then the piece I cut off the bottom, which is about 1.25 inches, I went ahead and scored it the same way, at 2.5 and in 5. So this is the whole piece of paper here. I cut it off at 7. But what you then can do is take this piece, flip it over, and now you have a nice band you can put on your Z-fold card. And it does fold in the opposite direction, but now you have this band. You can put it at the bottom, you can put it at the top, you can put it in the middle. If you wanted to cut another strip, that is, 1 by 10 and score it, you could put 2. This is really versatile, and this is a great way, you're going to cut this off, you're probably not going to use it for anything, you might actually toss it, put it part of your card, and just make a nice little band on your card. So that's the card base. So let me bring in my stamping platform, and we're going to get started here. I'm going to start by stamping the messaging. So I have this one here, and I have this one here that needs to be stamped. So let me grab my stamps here. So this one says, hope your birthday is out of this world. So that's going to go inside the card. That's going to go on here. And I have the one that says happy birthday. And that will go on here. You know what, do I want to turn these at an angle? You know what, I think I do. Since this is kind of aliens, and it's a kid's card, let's just turn these at an angle, like that. Alright, I'm going to bring in my quick dry black, and let's get these picked up. And get these stamped. And I'm just going to let the Hunky Dory paper here do most of the work for this card, since I had some space paper left from long ago, then it should still be in my stash. We'll just say that. Stamp it one more time, because I did not prime these stamps. Generally I don't. Generally I just go right in and use my stamps. And usually I don't have a problem. There we go. That is all set. So let's put these away. Alright. Now we have our 2 trays of things that are all cut out. Now, the aliens, when you open this up, there are all kinds of pieces here. For the hair, bows, there's a little skirt, these are the teeth, these are the horns, these are the eyes. Those are the wheels for the skateboard. These little things are little ties to put on the ponytails. If you want it to look like there's a ponytail holder instead of a bow, that's the center of the bow. That's a microphone. Those are the eyelashes. and the arms, and the little smile face. And I don't think I'm going to use teeth. I think I'm just going to give them all smiles. And it's the same with this set, except this set has balloons, it has a soccer ball, and then all the pieces for the alien. And the alien looks a little different because his feet are separate. But I already have all this cut out. And let's start putting them together. So let's lay these out. I have 3 aliens, but I think I'm only going to need 2. So here's the spaceship. That's going to be the 3rd piece. So let's stick with the aliens here for a minute. Alright, so we need eyes. And I'm thinking this size eyes is going to work. Is anybody thinking the old Fry Guys from McDonald's? At this point, this is what they look like. You know what? I bet if you just put legs on these, they would look like the Fry Guys. Yeah, they kind of do. Alright, so here are the legs. And there is a left and a right leg. And we will need 2 arms. And you want to make sure you're using the left and the right arm. So you want to make sure their little thumb here is pointing toward the body. And let me get the other one here. Alright. And they'll each need a mouth. We're just going to make little happy aliens. And let's see. We'll give them horns. Now the horns was in the girls set. But even though he has little tufts of hair on here, I'm thinking he could still use another horn. Let's see. There is a left and a right horn. Maybe I'll only put horns on one. And the other one, I will make a girl. Let's see. Let's give her some blonde hair. So she'll have hair here. And here. And let's see, she'll need a bow tie. So why don't we give her yellow and red? How about that? And the hair you also can do it the other way. So I think this is how it's shown on the package. You could have her hair hang down also. Maybe we'll have her hair hang down. Like that. And I think I'm going to give the alien here a little bow tie. Make him all dressed up too. He gets a little bow tie. That way he's all dressed too. Alright. So let's see. So what else do they need? Yeah, I don't think she needs horns if she's got ponytails. Alright, let's move the pieces over to this side here. And let's start with the arms. I'm just going to put a little glue here. I'm going to attach his arm. One arm that way. Put another arm over here. Let's get his eyes on. Alright, let's see, where do we want his eyes? His eyes need to be above his arms. So we'll put one here, one over here. Over here. Get them straight. There we go. Now we'll put his little horns on. My granddaughter was over and she saw these little aliens and she picked it up and she said, oh, these will be mine. I had to tell her, no, you're not taking the dies home. You can make all the ones you want here, but you're not taking the dies home. So she made an alien. She made a pink one. It's on the fridge. But she really liked the little set. Alright. Now this is kind of skinny. So I'm just going to dab it a little bit. There you go. Let's give him a big smile. And we'll give him a little bow tie. There we go. He's all dressed up to go to the party. Here's alien number 1. I'll put him over here. Alright, now for the little girl alien. Let's get her made. Alright, so there she is. Alright, now while I'm looking at it, let me go ahead and glue my messaging together. I think I want to edge this a little bit. And I'm just going to tap the end into the ink pad and just edge it. Just tap, tap, tap. You just want to bring it slightly forward, and the more forward you bring it, the thicker your line's going to be. There we go. Just gives that a little something. Now let's get this glued together. And we'll go in the middle. There's that piece. Next we'll get the rocket done. Oh wait, we didn't put the little skirt on the alien. Hold on. There we go. I forgot her little skirt. Let's bring her back. So the skirts stack on top of each other. You just put the one on top of each other, and you can keep stacking them. So just stack one on top. Like that. Let's see, now we'll give her a little skirt. Go. There we go. Now she has a little skirt. Alright, let's move the googly eyes out of the way. Now let's talk about the spaceship. Alright, so we have, I'm going to go with a completely silver spaceship. Let's see, so these are the two silver pieces. So one will come down here. One's up here. And you have the two circles, and I have silver to put in the center. Let me pick these up. This will go in the middle of the circles. Now let me grab the die for a minute, because there are circles in here. Now they're pretty small, but what I want to do is I'm going to lay the die cut back in the die. And I'm going to grab a 0.1 art liner, and I'm going to color in those circles. So I think I got them all. we go. And that just gives a little more detail to that. Now I'm going to do the other one. Now that one is all decorated. Now this will go in the middle. Alright, so let's get those little pieces glued down. Dab and a dab. There we go. There's one. And there's two. All right. Oops. That slid. Because I'm gluing mirror card here, that's going to need a second to grab. Okay. Now I'm going to put these on first because I want to make sure I'm putting my bars in the right place. Let me put this die away before I lose it. Alright, so now I can see where my little rocket bars can go. So that one will be about here. Then the circle. The other bar. And the other circle, like that. Alright, let me get these all glued down. So now we need the rocket. This is this little piece down here, the little rocket piece. We'll just put some glue across the top here. And place that down. Let's see. A little more glue. There we go. Now we need the flames. Now the flames are in two pieces. Just a little bit of glue. And we'll line this up. Now I'll put glue on the front here because this will be behind the little black piece down here. Make it look like my flames are coming out of my little rocket. So now I have the two little stabilizers on the side. And there is a left and a right. And you want to make sure that this piece here is not any lower than that piece right there. There we go. And we'll put more glue on this side. And line that up. Go. There's a little rocket. So now what do we need? We need, let's see, our balloons. I'll put the balloons together once I start putting the aliens on. So I think now we can construct our card base. So now the question is to put this band on the bottom or the middle. Because when you close it, it's going to look like this. And then it will be here. But I want to take one of these aliens. I kind of want to make them look like they're kind of floating here in space. So I was leaning toward the middle. Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to put this in the middle. And the easiest way to do this is to close it. Because when you close it, let me turn this upside down. This part here will get glued to here. This part here is going to get glued to here. So if you hold it closed, you'll know exactly where to put your glue. So I'm going to hold it closed, pick a spot, lay it down, and hold. There you go. It's that simple. So just take your scrap, make a band. Alright, so now we have to decide. I think the spaceship will be on the front with an alien. The other alien inside. Let's see, we'll have happy birthday. And hope your birthday's out of this world will be on the bottom, I think. So when this closes, we'll still see the alien. Let's see, so we'll have that there, that there. Maybe we'll turn her this way a little bit. Don't want her sticking out. I think like that. All right. So I think the wobblers, I think we definitely want the spaceship on a wobbler. Now these wobblers, I just bought on Amazon. And what you do is you just peel the paper off, the back on the one side, because there's spring is on here, there's sticky on both sides. So I'm going to stick it to the back here. Then I'm going to peel the other paper off. And we can decide, I'll fix that in a second, where I want this to be. Maybe I'll put this, let's see, because when this is closed, nope, I want him up here. There we go. So now he wobbles. So let me put some more glue on here. And reattach that. There we go. Now our little spaceship wobbles. Alright, let me grab some foam for the messaging. Alright, so I'm going to use my 1/16 foam. Alright, so we'll need a piece for the back of this. And a piece for the back of the happy birthday. Alright, and this is just 1/16 by 1/2. So we'll put that here. We will put the Hope Your Birthday is Out of This World on the bottom. Like here. Okay, now where to put our aliens. So one will be here, but he can't hang over this corner here, because when that comes down, that's the edge of your card. So you need to make sure nothing hangs over that far. So I can turn him this way. And I also want to make sure I have a place to put the wobbler on the back of him. So let me grab a wobbler for him. And we'll do the same thing. We'll just peel this off. Let's see if I can angle this so you can see it. Let's see. There is a perforation in between. It is 2 pieces on the back. So it's easy to peel off. Oops. Alright. So I'm going to put this more toward the bottom of the alien here. Oops, not if I put it in the right side. And now we'll peel off. Give it a second to stick there. Now let me peel off the other paper. There we go. Let's see. This is closed. I think he's going to have to go like this. Now our alien, our rocket jiggle. So now we have one more alien. I think she also is going to jiggle. So I think we might put the balloons in her hand. So I'm going to bring her down a little further. Let's see. Or does she need to be over here? Let's see. And then you'll see the balloons over here on this side. Oh, let's see. Let me stand this up. You know what? Before I stick her on, let me grab the balloons. So there's a balloon and a balloon string. Let me turn this card sideways here. So let's see here. Let me put some glue on her hand. We'll start with one string here. We'll put one balloon. Oops. So I can shorten that string if I need to. Let's see. Is this going to fit? Yep, she'll fit. You know what? She may not go on string. I mean on a wobbler. Let's see. I will attach another balloon. And the third balloon. That. Like that, I think. So I can trim the strings in the bottom. And this one will be down here. Let me glue down these strings. Let me just hold that for a second. There we go. She's pretty stable now that all strings are together. That's pretty stable. Let me trim this one a little bit. That makes it even more stable, tucking in behind. So I think I'm going to glue these down behind her. There we go. Just to make it a little bit more stable. Now let's see. Where is she going to be? We will put her I think over here. So I think she's going to have to just go up on foam and be just back there. She's not going to have enough room or be stable enough for it to be a wobbler. Alright, so here's a piece of foam for the balloons. Here's a piece of foam for her. She will go in here. I just have to make sure she's not going to hang out here. And I'll pull her balloons over here. Now I have some stars. All right, let me glue some of these down. So I could always cut out more of these. There's one. We'll put this one over here. Let's see, the shooting star one will be over here. Yeah, I think I'll keep it down here. So now we have that. I think I'll put that one right on the happy birthday. Alright, so I've been sitting here staring at this card for a couple of hours now, and something just wasn't quite right. So the first thing I decided is, yes, I do want a third alien over here. So I went ahead and put him together, and I gave him a nose. The aliens need noses. So I have my gems from Year of Craft, and I am going to give each of these aliens a nose. Just going to put a little bit of glue on there. I am going to pick it up. And he's getting a nose. Yeah, look how much better he looks. Nose, no nose. That's what it is. They need a nose. Alright, so let me give the little girl in the back a nose. Let me give her a little dab, because you do not need a lot of glue for these noses. And give her a nose. Yeah, I think they needed noses. Yep. Okay, now he's going to get glued here. I put his hand straight up in the air like he's reaching for the balloons, but that also makes sure that he will fit in this spot here, because that's all the room I have to put him in. So I put a piece of 1/16 foam behind him. So he's just going to be lifted up a little bit, and he's going to look like he's standing on the sign, the happy birthday here, reaching up trying to get the balloons. There, now that looks a little more finished to me. Yeah, I like that a lot better. That's all it needed. Well, if you like this card, give me a thumbs up, because that's how YouTube counts everything. And please consider subscribing to my channel, because I will have new projects every week. And until next time, stay crafty.